Hello guys, welcome back to Celebrity Facts Talk Show. Kama kawaida, na leo tuko na this interesting person. Anajua unashangaa ni nani, lakini leo tumechange hadi venue. Tumekuja kiasi, umejua tulikuwa tumetembea kidogo outside Nairobi ndio tuweze kupata watu kiasi. Welcome back, sit back. Finya hiyo button kwanza. Hebu subscribe kwanza before tuendelee. Umejua watu ni berele za wataki kutusupport, but hebu ni support hapo kwanza. Yes, we are back with the guy who managed to face Babu Owino. Yes, how are you? Fine. MJ, mimi nakuitanga MJ. Hebu introduce kiasi kwa hao watu.
Hello guys, it's a good time again to meet my friend here.
Yes.
I'm Mike Jacobs. I am a businessman.
Yes.
I have been a student at the University of Nairobi.
Yes.
And I was pursuing a course of psychology and economics as a minor. And basically, I am still a student, still continuing with my studies after I was brought back to the university after the expulsion. It was actually an expulsion, not a suspension. So I'm glad to be back, and I'm doing my studies. Hopefully I finish, I build on my profile so that I can become better people.
Yeah. Yes, na naona amefanya kazi nzuri sana. Hapo umejua nikipita hapa kitambo, sikuwa nafikiria kunaweza kuwa na a place like this, but naona umeleta hiyo serene environment. At least sasa nikikuja home naweza tulia.
You can get a place to relax.
Yeah, you can get a place to relax at least, ukikula fries kuku nini. Yeah. So na pia watu umejua watu kwanza wanafaa kuja hapa. Hizi road trips watu wana organize.
It's on the road it's on your way to Bondo.
To Bondo, to Raila's place.
Yeah, sure. So Baba takes this thing, definitely we expect more visitors.
More visitors. Wanaweza kuja kurelax hapa as we celebrate.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so MJ, ebu tueleze, as in, how was it like to compete against Babu Owino?
Against Babu?
Yeah. Juu hapo lazima ukue ground pia ilikuwa fiti.
Sure. There are a lot of things really lazima niwaambie,
Yeah.
Politics is something that you learn. Along your experience, you learn.
Yeah.
So how it was generally competing against Babu, it was a good experience because the students needed somebody to stand, stand in there.
Ilikuwa kama monopoly sasa. Juu anashinda tu anashinda.
Kama kulikuwa na wanyonge. And on the other side, there are students who they are okay with the status quo.
Yeah.
If Babu repeats or gets it again, they don't care.
Yeah, wako tu sawa.
But on the other side, what I noticed is that students had unique problems.
Yeah.
Looking at how semesters catch up, and in terms of if you get into a session with a group of students, those are the people you expect to finish school up with, right?
Yeah.
So it's progressive, just like leadership. So that when it gets to third year or fourth year, you arrive to vie for chairman. So in my case, I go to fourth year, and Babu still wants to get this thing for the fifth time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no,
Which year was that?
That's 2016.
Okay.
So the same Babu, I had helped him to get this same seat
for the fifth time.
Yeah. So I was expecting him to say something like, you've been my good friends.
Oh, you expected him to endorse you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he did the otherwise. he said, I still want it. And I want it for another year.
Wow.
And all of us can wait. So I was looking at shelving our ambitions for Babu. And also being true to the cause, representing what the students really want. Yeah. And I chose the other side. I said, I'll represent what the students really want. I'll not go with what Babu
Let me go for
wants.
it. Yeah,
sure. So, people know that it's financially hectic, and, it involves a lot of violence and money.
Tactics.
Just like the politics out here.
Yeah.
Just like the politicians dish out money, they have meetings, right? So, at first it was scary.
Okay.
But as I got to acclimatize myself with every day, I realized it's the best thing that I could do in my day,
Yeah.
If I would decide to shy away from it, then I would have failed a group of almost 80,000 students.
Yeah, a good
Sure.
percentage of the school.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So my reason for vying was I had been a campus rep for 1 year,
Okay.
and I had known what problems these students face firsthand. On the other side, Babu had been a chairman. Despite these problems, he was not there to help them solve.
He was just there.
Yeah, so
As the chairperson.
I was here to provide an alternative of a bridge between the administration and the students, so that if we are lacking something in Babu, which is coordination, then we can get it from you.
Yeah. From Michael Jacobs.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So definitely, I took a shot at it, and I didn't regret it.
So you planned everything.
Yeah, sure. But on the other side, looking at the violence part and students just turning into to rowdy people and destroying school stuff, that was not really planned. I still maintain the
just
stand
came
that,
up.
No, I still maintain this stand that there has to be a bridge between the students and the administration. So if there is a disconnect, then you expect the students to act in a way that is not in line with the
rules.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So what was happening in this case was there was a section of students who were for a change of regime. Then there were a section who were for the status quo. So this clash happens because now the people who are for change were insisting that even these people who want the status quo voted for us.
Okay, so they wanted to make sure that they voted for you.
They wanted to make sure that whoever they voted for
was not Babu Owino.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So the violence wasn't planned. It was something that came out of people just being agitated and wanting their views to be represented well. If it's a vote, then it has to count. In our case, it didn't count.
I understand the situation.
Yeah. So if you flash back and you can remember, after all these incidents, they decided that we'll do away with SONU because it brings so much violence between students. Yeah. So you see, in our case, it wasn't a win-win situation. It was a win-lose
situation.
Yeah, sure. If we go at it too much, we lose everything.
You lose everything.
Yeah, and that is what happened. So Babu did not become the chairman, and SONU was scrapped off, and most of us
there was
were
no more
expelled.
SONU.
There was no more SONU, and there has been no more SONU
up to now. So as in you said that about the financial situations, the financial support and everything.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to finance your campaigns? Did you have a sponsor or something?
I know that question comes out.
Yeah.
And the people always want to know, you are a student, how do you get the money to campaign?
Yeah, to campaign.
But
every time I always think of joining the school politics, but the finance,
the funds.
Yeah, the funds, but
how you'd be able to pay for tea and lunch for people?
For people, as you hold on the meetings.
So this is how it happens when you are vying at that level. You form a committee so that you ask for funding from outside because you're just a student. With good ambitions, you can talk to a politician. You can sell to them your idea of what you want to do in school, right?
Yes.
So besides that, you'd get well-wishers who like what you're doing or they're for your cause, right?
They just
of which I would say, some students did that to me. They would in my place buy stuff for other people, so it gets down the budget. But most of it comes from your committee. You must have a committee. People who you talk to,
committee.
Then you go out there and look for funds. Whoever is interested in your bid or loves your way of doing things will fund you. But do not expect that it's going to be millions. It's maybe a 50,000 here. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But the other side of it, the chunk of it, 1 million, 2 million, is from your own pocket.
So
I wish I know you'd be wondering how would a student get 1 million.
How will you get a million?
Yeah, it's the most important question to ask, but it's possible. Looking at, I was at 4th year. I began doing business while I was in 2nd year, and there is so much that I had done. At that time, I had already a business running in Westlands, and a couple of things going on. So it was easy for me to dive into politics.
Yeah, to dive into
because I
the
already
finance was available. The funds were available.
At least I had something to land my hands on. Yeah. So I wouldn't advise you to just jump into it without funds, but you know, the ambition is more important than the money. Yeah, so
I think that's why you decided to take that brave step.
Sure. So even if the money is not enough, you push with the ambition.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, and you said that after all this, SONU was done away with, and you got expelled.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and how has it been from that time since you were expelled? Was it 2016?
It was in 2016.
Yeah, how has it been?
2016 June. So I was expelled, and you are supposed to be serving an expulsion before appealing. You should be serving 1,000 days. That's
3 years.
Exactly. 365 days, 3 times.
Yeah.
So 3 years of no semester. Until then, you can appeal to engage in the first semester. So when I was expelled, I did not write an appeal. Instead, I went to court.
Instead, you went to court.
Yeah. Then I challenged it in court.
Okay.
So the judge who was there by then was Justice Odunga. So Justice Odunga said, you know, this is an issue that is before the public domain, and everybody knows that it's the students who decided to burn up, or they went rowdy, and it wasn't one person.
Yeah.
So I will not pass unfair judgment on this one student. Okay. So instead, he directed the university to reinstate me immediately. So the university took more time to reinstate you. Yeah. So I had been following up for like 2 years. Then I got back to the system in 2019.
2019.
Yeah, sure.
3 years later.
3 years later. I'm supposed to be graduating. I'm done.
Oh, you're done with your studies.
Sure.
Oh. So
soon we'll be looking at the glory of SONU by graduating. We'll tell them, you know, despite wasting our time, we're still graduating.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't really matter how long it takes. What matters is, do you graduate or get what you want from the university?
Okay. So after SONU, after you went back, was there any other student body, leadership body formed after SONU?
I went back and I found out that right now the students subscribe to an association. It's an association. It's called UNSA now, right?
UNSA?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's called UNSA.
UNSA.
Yeah. Meaning, I don't know what it really means.
University of Nairobi Students Association. I think.
Yeah. University students, I don't know.
Yeah.
It must be something. I don't really know, because, you know, I was more interested in the union.
Not the association.
Yeah, it had more external powers. It had a supreme constitution. An association is going to be given rules and regulations by the university, and they're expected to follow.
Oh, so that's why you were never interested in
that's
politics
why
when you went back.
Exactly. I want to be representing the students entirely from a point of representation, not from a point of association. Not that because I'm together with you in this semester, I am talking on your behalf. I want to be a member of a union that is independent with its own constitution, that it can come and negotiate on behalf of the student. An association cannot do that. And everybody who knows about leadership at the university knows that.
He knows that. So, as in, have you ever dreamt of maybe going into politics after your studies and everything? External politics.
Yeah, I have thought about it.
Okay.
It's
inviting. It's in your plans.
It's inviting, but you know what? Just like I have enough experience, you have to be very prepared financially. Then you have to know when the time is right. It's not about, you know, everyone is vying, so you take up your case and say, you know, I'll also vie and get this thing, you know. It's about, you know, planning yourself up so that when we get to that point, you don't lose. It's not about losing. That's why, you know, when I was at SONU, I would say, if we are not going to get it,
Yes.
let SONU be non-existent.
Let it not be there.
Yeah,
Yes.
let it not be there, so that none of us benefits or loses from it. Yeah.
It's
So
like a win-win situations,
yeah,
but a loss.
so to answer your question directly, I would really want to jump into national politics and just get to a point where I can represent the views of other people, and also continue with my leadership in terms of what I believe is in me and God given. So if you are a leader, it doesn't have to be only in school.
Yeah.
You become a leader in life.
Yeah.
In everything you do.
Yeah.
So that's where we are headed. So for now, we'll just be congratulating whoever are getting the seats now.
Yeah.
But we tell them to be very keen and be watching these simple videos.
Yes.
For the future.
For the future.
Yeah. Because when we come, we're not coming to lose.
Yeah.
We're coming to get it.
Ready to get in.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, do you always get, as in maybe calls or anything from the students that you used to represent, or
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
those who are ongoing,
Yeah, sure.
maybe for advice or something?
They call or they text or try to reach you on social media.
Yes.
And some of them are anxious. You look at my inbox on Facebook, you'll find people who are vying for UNSA. So they're asking me, how much did you spend? And
How did you do it?
how did you do it?
Yes.
But I tell them, you just be brave. Just be yourself.
Confidence.
Yes. If your values are greater than your opponents, they'll give it to you.
Okay.
If
So
God
sell
chosen
your
you,
values.
exactly. They'll choose. When I was in UN, when you're vying, they'll know what wrong you do, what good you do.
Yeah.
So they'll try and stain you with the bad that you do.
Okay.
And very few people will praise you for the good, right?
For the good, yeah.
So there are a couple of things people say about you when you are vying. And they're very hurting. Some of them look like close to the truth, but it's you who knows what you want.
Yeah, what you want.
Yeah. You should also understand that it goes beyond the supporter or the follower. You are the leader. You should give direction. Exactly.
So you should be you.
You should be you and know that you are the
Don't
leader.
fake
You're not
anything.
a follower.
Yeah.
If anything, you have followers.
You are leading a crowd.
Yeah, sure.
You are like a shepherd.
Exactly. So you have to be very keen on what's going on with my flock. Yeah, sure.
So you decided to join the politics after the 4 years, meaning you are strategizing. You are helping Babu Owino, but strategizing.
It's something that most important is that in everything that you do, try and get some time to learn. To learn means that, master what you're looking at, what you're seeing, and what you're experiencing. So we could help Babu Owino go to places, talk to people. At some point, I would just be a rough person and put on boots and just do the wrong things, right? but me as a leader,
Yes.
it wouldn't feel right.
Yes.
Or that's not my position. I wouldn't want to be a goon. Yeah. So inside you will always remind
You know what
yourself.
is good and what is bad.
Exactly. So I'll keep telling myself that this position that we are holding now is temporary. But in the future, I want to be like him. Because by then, he was the darling of the university. Everybody, loved Babu Owino and everything. But me, that myth never got me. Not even once.
You are so confident, impressive.
Yeah, so in every situation you would ask or tell us, give us one person from this crowd who can succeed Babu Owino. You would say myself.
I choose me.
Yeah, he chooses himself.
So, as in, do you talk to Babu from that time to now?
We are friends in terms of we hold no grudges towards each other, but definitely I am not really much interested in forging a relationship with him going forward. I'm interested in looking at him making progress and getting to actually do the leadership that is always looking for, so that my star will shine on its own and let his shine on its own. So I'll pursue my dreams on my side and I'll wish him well as he pursues his on the other side. So we talk. A phone call, yeah, I would pick.
So he calls you, you don't call him.
He calls. He would ask you, have they taken you back to school? Or this and that. And I would tell him everything is okay. Because, you know, it doesn't depend on him. It depends on the university. Yeah, sure.
So that's good. You know, I've been thinking that maybe it's a grudge or something.
No.
Yeah.
Politics is as good as, you know, let's sit on this table.
Yes.
After we are done, let's disagree.
But you know, most people
Yeah.
always thought that Babu was the one who caused your expulsion. We never thought that SONU was everything at the riots.
You know what really caused the expulsion was, to be very candid, was the destroying of property by students.
Yeah, by the students.
So it got to an extent where it had never happened before. And when I joined the university in 2012, there are hostels that belong to engineering students, Lower State outside, SRH. They were banned completely.
By the students.
That is the last time the university ever closed down.
Also, the administration thought that you are the mastermind
of
everything,
destroying the property.
Yeah.
But the truth was, I wasn't.
You are just being you and doing your channeling, selling your values.
I
and
was
everything.
having supporters who were not accepting the outcome. And as much as they were agitating, nobody was listening. If you can remember, the VC then was Bithi. Instead of listening to the grievances from the students, you then choose to run away from the university. So we will not really solve anything, because we need the top management. We also need the student leadership.
That's, you know, that's the as in what we are trying to fight now, like this time of election. You know, after receiving the results, the people will tend to choose riots over everything,
Sure.
instead of just solving everything amicably and kuacha nini ndovu zipigane tu huko juu. Sisi kama nyasi, we should not that like go into that. Due after everything,
anyway. We remain the same. We remain brothers. We remain the national people, and you know, we should not fight. So I think what we should really look at in this election is tolerance. At the end of the day, I have seen leaders who have been holding office concede already on TV.
Like Lagata, example, Lagata, I've seen
Nixon
for it.
Nixon for it conceded. He's been the MP, right? That's the spirit of being a Kenyan. You accept it when it's not you, and you invite the chance when it's you, and you serve. So Nixon has served. We also have Naomi Shaban. She's been the MP for over 20 years. Somebody else has taken over from her. She has conceded. So that should be the spirit.
And by the way, about politics, this thing about MPs, the CDF fund being removed, as in, do you think it's a problem solving, a solution to the problems, or maybe?
I think I have heard about this issue of CDF, but looking at it from the point of the Constitution brought us a budget. So we cannot look at a budget devoid of the Constitution. So looking at why that fund was created, there was need for that fund in the first place, right? So if we say we are going to scrap off that fund, then two things.
There is a need that is being pushed off.
Two things. We either have the government provide free education, so that we don't need to subsidize
for the bursaries,
or ask for the bursary to make the government accountable, that how much of CDF have you given to the schools. It should be free to a level that we don't pay anything. And if we still have the same constitution without any amendment, then it should remain as it is. So the people to defend it are the current elected MPs.
The MPs elect.
Sure.
Okay.
And they should not allow something like that to happen, because you know, the Kenyan education system needs support.
The bursaries.
Without
and
that,
building of classes, development of classes. And as we wind up, what can you tell the comrades and everything? Advice to the young leaders?
You know, it's been a minute since I last communicated on camera like this, so it's a good chance for me. And also, you know, I am able to meet the people out there, because right now the world is a global village. It's small,
Yeah.
you know? You can see me from here, I can talk to you directly.
Everything is online.
Yeah, so what I would want to tell everyone else out there is, as youths, we should always strive to go for what we want. Despite the many challenges that we face as a Kenyan youth, to be specific, a Kenyan youth, not a Ugandan or anywhere else.
A Kenyan youth.
Despite all those challenges, we have to strive to get to where we want to be. Because looking at, even at the political terrain right now, we are going to have the first or the highest number of young people elected in position in these 2022 elections. That shows you something. The time for the old people when they used to say, all these things are left for us who are qualified, is gone.
Yeah.
In every small way you can change the world. In every small way you can change Kenya. In every small way you can change yourself. So basically it's very easy to be clueless when you just left university and there is no employment for you, or nothing is really left ready and set for you. But having hope that you can do it yourself, can create for you the opportunity.
Start from somewhere.
Yeah, it will create for you the opportunity to know that there are so many things for you that you can explore, despite looking at just employment. But also, we can't stop without urging the government to keep creating more jobs for the youths that they're getting out of tertiary institutions. Yeah.
We hope the next government will actually touch
as
on
they
that.
promised.
As they promised.
Each new government we expect,
and the 6,000
more new jobs. We expect more opportunities for the young people. We also expect them to create a better business environment. Bureaucracies for having to register this and that, they can reduce it into one, so that more people do business, so that we have options as youth.
So thank you, Mike Jacobs.
Thank you so much for coming.
Allowing us to have this here at your, how do you call it?
This one is a heritage.
Heritage.
Yeah. It's like our small hacienda here.
Yeah.
Where
it's an hacienda.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Very relaxing, a serene environment indeed.
Yeah.
And
tell the youth to also remember to come back home.
Yeah. Kujeni nyumbani bada. Kujeni nyumbani.
Visit your grandma or your family once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ukikuja, then come to Heritage, relax, have some kuku, some chips.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Then you'll be on your way.
Yeah.
And always remember you came.
Yeah. Come and meditate.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and remember to subscribe.
Remember to subscribe.
Yeah.
And support. Yeah.
Sawa, asante.